There is no doubt that Japan is famously known as the land of the rising sun, but few are aware that this name stems from its distinctive geographical position. Located at the far eastern edge of the Eurasian continent, Japan is among the very first places on Earth to witness the dawn. This is why, since ancient times, the Japanese have referred to their country as Nippon, meaning origin of the sun. Over time, this name became a symbol that the world associates with Japan. With an area of approximately 378,000 square kilometers, roughly equal to the size of the state of California in the United States, Japan is an archipelago made up of over 6,800 islands, both large and small. The four major islands, Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku, make up 97% of the nation's total land area. The terrain is mainly mountainous and volcanic, and Mount, standing at 3,776 meters, is Japan's most iconic natural feature, the highest peak in the country and a cultural and touristic emblem. Japan experiences a temperate climate with four clearly defined seasons. In spring, the cherry blossoms bloom, transforming the nation into a romantic pink canvas. Summer is hot and humid, a time for fireworks, festivals, and street food. Autumn is known for its fiery red maple leaves, reminiscent of a second blossoming. Winter, with its snowy landscapes, draws skiing enthusiasts. With this rich palette of seasonal beauty, Japan is one of the few countries capable of attracting tourists year-round. Despite its relatively small size, Japan is among the most densely populated nations in the world, home to about 125 million people, placing it 11th globally. However, nearly 30% of the population is over 65 years old, making Japan the fastest aging society on Earth and presenting significant challenges in labor and healthcare for the government. The official language of Japan is Japanese. Interestingly, the Japanese writing system incorporates three scripts, kanji, hiragana, and katakana, which makes the language one of the most difficult to learn. Nevertheless, due to the global popularity of anime, manga, and Japanese culture, the language has become one of the most studied worldwide. If you still believe that Japanese women are shy girls in kimonos, it is time to revise that image. Modern Japanese women are redefining their roles: financial independence, thriving careers, and no longer needing to rely on anyone for a dignified life. More than 70% of women of working age are employed in offices, tech firms, and even at the executive levels of major corporations. Being a housewife is no longer mandatory. Many choose to forge their own paths instead of following societal expectations. As for love, they are in no rush. The average age of marriage has risen to 29 to 30 years old, later than in most Asian countries. In major cities, a 35-year-old single woman who works, travels, loves cats, and invests in stocks is not considered left on the shelf, but rather seen as a symbol of success. For many, marriage is a choice, not a duty, and any potential partner must pass through a rigorous screening process. Interestingly, many Japanese women today are drawn to foreign men. The reason is simple. Foreigners are more emotionally expressive, whereas Japanese men are often more reserved. It's common to hear complaints that Japanese husbands forget wedding anniversaries or find it harder to say, "I love you," than to quit their jobs. Western men, particularly Americans and Europeans, are praised for their sweet words, surprises, and most importantly, their ability to listen. As a result, between 6,000 and 7,000 Japanese women marry foreigners annually, and this trend continues to grow, especially in metropolises like Tokyo and Osaka. If there is any place on Earth where you can leave a wallet on a park bench and find it untouched hours later, it is Japan. The country has one of the world's lowest crime rates, particularly concerning violent crimes like assault and robbery. In some neighborhoods, police set up traps, leaving unattended bicycles or wallets, to test the honesty of residents, simply because there are hardly any criminals to catch. This is no joke, but a testament to the peacefulness of Japanese society. Tokyo, one of the most densely populated cities globally, with 38 million people, consistently ranks among the safest places on the planet. According to credible rankings, first-grade students can ride the train alone to school, and adults comfortably walk the streets at 1 or 2 in the morning. If you lose something valuable, just go to the nearest police station. Chances are you'll get it back intact. Japan's safety is deeply rooted in its upbringing system. From kindergarten, children are taught to pick up trash, greet strangers, and return lost belongings. Moreover, Japanese society places immense importance on honor. A single misstep can bring shame not only to the individual, but also to their family, company, or school. Losing face is considered worse than going to prison. Japan is the birthplace of a national dish that has saved millions from hunger and even traveled to space: instant noodles. It is one of the most groundbreaking culinary inventions of the 20th century. In the year 1958, created the first pack of instant noodles in his small kitchen. Just 3 minutes with boiling water yields a hot, cheap, and convenient meal. But what truly amazes is the variety of Japanese noodles. Hundreds of options, from classic miso, fresh seafood, and thick curry to wild flavors like pizza with horse meat or wasabi that numbs the tongue. Manufacturers often release limited seasonal flavors, causing fans to camp out in lines as if waiting for a new iPhone. The ultimate celebration of this fast food culture is the Cup Noodles Museum in Yokohama. Not only does it tell the story of the invention, but visitors can also create their own cup, selecting noodle types, broth, toppings, designing the packaging, and taking home their personal exhibit. Few museums let you eat the artifacts, but here you can. If art could take human form, it would be a geisha. The term geisha literally means person of art. These women undergo professional training in classical dance, performance, tea ceremonies, singing, and refined conversation. Contrary to Western myths, geishas do not sell their bodies, but rather their talent and companionship. They were the idols of Japan's intelligentsia. A geisha's appearance exudes elegance, restraint, and pride. Subdued kimonos, neatly tied obi sashes, elaborate updos, and faces painted with white makeup, with lips only on the lower portion. Every gesture, from a delicate step to a graceful bow, embodies centuries of cultural heritage. The path to becoming a geisha is long and arduous. Training typically begins at the age of 13 to 15 as an apprentice. They live in special houses, learning dance, music, tea ceremony, and the art of social conversation. Only the most disciplined and talented apprentices eventually qualify as full geishas. An interesting fact, the first geishas were men, but later the singing and dancing talents of women proved more in demand, causing male geishas to nearly vanish. Today only 1 or 2 remain, reminders of the vibrant history of this craft. In Japan, apologies are not mere words but a highly formalized ritual, from the precise angle of bow to the sacrifice of one's hairstyle. A bow at 15 degrees signifies greeting, at 45 degrees sincere apology, and a full prostration to the ground represents the deepest remorse of the soul. Yet sometimes a bow alone is insufficient. In grave instances, public scandals, ethical breaches, or when collective is at stake, Japanese people shave their heads. This extreme form of atonement dates back to the samurai era when was valued above life and hair pride. A notable case involved an idol accused of illicit relationships who recorded an apology video with a shaved head, declaring her willingness to make any sacrifice for redemption. Interestingly, apologizing in Japan can also serve simply to ease tension, pave the way for reconciliation, or show respect for the other person so as not to embarrass them. Even if someone accidentally bumps into you, you are likely to hear, because the goal is never to humiliate another. Japan is one of the world's leaders in technological innovation. Robotics, automation, consumer electronics, and massive investments in science. Each year, the country spends more than 3% of its gross domestic product on research and development, one of the highest rates globally, demonstrating both government and corporate commitment to technological progress. From and to, Japanese corporations help shape global industry. In the automotive sector, consistently sells over 10 million vehicles annually, leading in both volume and brand reputation. In consumer electronics, gifted the world the Walkman and continues to dominate the console market, with over 500 million PlayStation units sold worldwide. In industrial robotics, Japan produces more than half of the world's robots, and the flash memory technology invented here underpins smartphones, cameras, and solid-state drives. Moreover, in the year 2020, the supercomputer was launched in Japan as the most powerful in the world. In the age of technology, Japan remains not just a leader but an embodiment of perseverance, intellect, and the ability to shape the future. If you fear attending an event alone or worry about meeting your partner's family, see how the Japanese solve this dilemma. They simply hire rented relatives or friends. In Tokyo and other major cities, the number of agencies offering rented companions by the hour or for the entire day is growing. Clients select family members based on age, appearance, and personality, paying from $50 to $100 per hour. A full package for a staged wedding with parents, friends, and the bride and groom can cost up to $20,000, complete with a script that choreographs even every embrace. The secret of the industry's success lies in the actors' high professionalism. They learn to fully inhabit their roles, shed tears on cue, hold hands affectionately, and invent memorable moments. Many clients admit they cannot distinguish rented guests from genuine ones. In a country where loneliness has become a national issue, this service provides a temporary remedy for emotional emptiness. Walking through Tokyo, you may encounter buildings with unusual architecture, dazzling lights, and signs proclaiming love. Do not laugh or blush. This is not indecency but part of the culture. Japan has more than 20,000 love hotels from Tokyo to Kyoto. These hotels' main attraction is designers, creativity. Theme rooms range from Hello Kitty to spaceships and prison cells for role play. Rooms feature disco lights, heart-shaped bathtubs, and even artificial rain, all in pursuit of an unforgettable experience. In a society where many live with their parents, these hotels offer couples privacy. No reception desk, no advance bookings, reservations made via. The industry generates over $40 billion annually, twice the revenue of the anime industry. In Japanese waters lies an island where women have been forbidden to set foot for more than 1,000 years. This is 700 high and located 700 off the Fukuoka prefecture coast, a sacred site. Only men who have strict purification rituals may land. Before setting foot ashore, they must strip naked and bathe in the sea, and afterwards nothing may be taken from the island nor any details disclosed. Without electricity, communication, or tourists is a world of silence and reverent awe. Despite its isolation, archaeologists have discovered tens of thousands of ancient artifacts, bronze mirrors, gold rings, jade necklaces, and ritual objects, attesting to a sophisticated culture from the 4th to the 9th century. Thanks to the preservation of its rituals, the island was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2017. Japan boasts more than 27,000 natural hot springs and around 3,000 onsen, the highest count worldwide. Whether in urban neighborhoods, forests, or remote wilderness, the feeling of stepping into a fairy tale is never far away. For Japanese people, onsen are a healing ritual. The hot water relaxes muscles and washes away invisible fatigue. Elderly visitors treat joint ailments, young people escape daily stress, and families strengthen bonds over weekend visits. Bathing at an onsen is a silent intimacy. Simply sitting together in warmth suffices. Tourists are often surprised by the mandatory nudity. No swimsuits or towels are permitted, as bare bodies equality. One must thoroughly cleanse oneself before entering the pools, showing respect for the shared space. Running, shouting, and photography are forbidden. The onsen is intended for tranquility and contemplation. Mount 3,776 tall, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the primary spiritual mountain for Japanese people, the Mountain of the Gods. Climbing it is seen as a purification of the soul, and in spring its snow-capped peak resembles a living brushstroke against the sky. Osaka Castle, dating from the 16th century as a military fortress, now a popular photo spot with green roofs, white walls, and golden dragons. Visitors can try on samurai. The Bamboo Grove in Kyoto. The rustling of bamboo is considered a national soundscape protected by law. Walking between the stalks feels like entering another dimension where only the wind speaks. The Valley Inn, an active volcano whose hot springs boil and dye eggs black. It is believed that one such egg grants 7 extra years of life, and eating it amid clouds of volcanic steam is an unforgettable experience. Japan is not only a technological superpower, but also a country of festivals. More than 300,000 traditional celebrations occur annually, more than anywhere else. In spring, the Hanami Festival begins, celebrating pink cherry blossoms over sake. In summer, Kyoto hosts the Matsuri with its millennium-old history and 9 high floats. In the AWA, festival turns the city into a dancing arena, attracting over 1,300,000 visitors. In autumn and winter, the lanterns of the Matsuri illuminate and fireworks light up snowy Hokkaido. Festivals are Japan's cultural heartbeat, linking past and present. Japanese cuisine combines elegance with daring. Sushi, sashimi, tempura, and takoyaki are refined dishes served like a performance. For Japanese people, unity of texture and the sound of the bite is essential, a perfect harmony akin to a classical play. But do not assume everything is delicate. If you tremble at sashimi, prepare for raw horse meat. Thin slices of equine flesh are served with soy sauce, ginger, and garlic. Locals claim cleanses the blood, has low fat and high protein content, and its slightly sweet taste lingers. For tourists, it is a psychological thrill, unforgettable yet rarely repeated. Even ice cream undergoes experimentation here, from ramen and beer to grilled meat, squid ink, and even horse. A Tokyo offers more than 100 varieties, each scoop delivering a shock. Japanese cuisine is not merely tradition, but a field of boundless creativity. Japan ranks among the world's most expensive countries, especially in the metropolises of Tokyo and Osaka. In central Tokyo, monthly rent for an apartment runs from $1,300 to $2,500. In the suburbs, from $390 to $800. Dining options vary. A budget lunch costs $6.50 to $10, while dinner for two ranges from $26 to $80. A combo meal at McDonald's is about $5 to $7. Monthly utilities, electricity, water, air conditioning, waste disposal, run $100 to $200. Home internet service costs $30 to $50, unlimited mobile data from $20 to $50. A public transport pass costs $80 to $150, a gym membership $50 to $100, and a dental cleaning $30 to $50 per visit. On average, living in Japan costs $115 to $3,500 per person per month, depending on lifestyle and location. Although it is not inexpensive, life in a modern, safe, and convenient country is worth it. We have explored 15 remarkable facts about Japan, a land where tradition and modernity weave together in magical harmony.